Welcome to the final installment of this year's Black Horror Survivors Movie Challenge 2025. At its core, Hatchet adheres to the essential elements of classic slasher films. We get an antagonist that ultimately is unveiled in our lives and in our vision, as well as the vision of the film. They're essentially revealed to be enigmatic and tragic. Director-writer Adam Green is really fascinating because he made Hatchet. He also did Frozen, which, if you haven't seen that, if you're someone who's just into suspense, if you're into survival horror, I loved it. The first time I saw it, I still love it. I think it's a masterclass in suspense and tension. His work with Hatchet, however, is undeniable. This is the first time I feel since Leatherface that I've experienced a tragic figure that was this complex. What's the story you've been told? And then what's the story of these human beings? Well, something that people don't know unless they've watched the series is that the main storyline for Victor Crowley's existence is about him being the product of an interracial affair.
Now, the way I always heard it, Cheyenne had a nurse named Lena. A beautiful Cajun woman who would come by to tend to her. And over the long months of Cheyenne's passing, Thomas and Lena got closer. Too close. She put a curse on Thomas Crowley and his mistress, Lena. A curse that would not only damn them, but the bastard child that was already growing in Lena's belly.
It's the first one, 2006. The second one, 2010. And what is right in between? Barack Obama is elected the 44th president.
They say that on the day Victor Crowley was born, the swamp mourned, the trees wept, the wildlife became sickly and died. His presence was like a pestilence.
And so it's very interesting to think about Hatchet 2 coming out a year later and really digging into this idea of the interracial body.
On Halloween night, some teenagers came to the house. They were trying to get a look at him, trying to scare him out of the house.
Knowing the story of Victor Crowley and seeing that it comes to life and it really grounds itself in our culture in a moment that a lot of people would call the post-racial era of our time, except I don't really know what you're talking about when you say that.
Paragraph, if not the first sentence, it's going to say the first African-American president.
Yeah.
There are so many expectations, as it turned out, as to what that meant. Did you wrestle with that? How would you articulate the expectations that were thrust upon you?
Hatchet is such an amazing representation of that tension, how they see interracial human beings and also how they see the choices of those who choose to create interracial human beings. The pulse of this moment and Barack Obama's presidency and post-racial society. What are people's perceptions about their self-interest? How have those shifted that convinced people enough to let them exist against themselves? And here we are. Because instead of understanding the Black body as present throughout horror's existence, there's this clinging to Blackness only as it presents itself in your comfort. But it's important to understand how the body is placed throughout time. The Black bodies that are in Kong. And then you think about what we're doing with Hatchet, where we are reimagining the Black body as a vessel for some kind of post-racial universe, how deeply affected we are as a culture, as a people, when we feel like we cannot line race with our perceptions, when we feel like we can't align race with our needs, when we feel like we can't align race with our beliefs. Hatchet is about facing yourself in a post-racial society. Are you the kids throwing rocks so somebody will come out